Yo,
Yo, how are we?
we are just us two.
Yeah, the boys haven't joined yet. We're probably gonna be like 10, 11. Not that much, but it's fine.
Are
Bro,
external people coming?
huh?
Are external people coming?
Not today, not today. No. Nope.
What are the next ones? It's like the hypnosis thing, right? In
Yeah,
next week.
bro. It's
I'm
next,
excited for that. Yeah,
bro.
that one. The external people are coming, right?
Yeah, on the Ibrahim, yes.
Oh shit! I'll be in London. I just forgot about that. Fuck.
Are you gonna be in London?
Yeah, I'll be in London.
Oh shit. Sup, Joel?
About to be. Yeah.
What's
Okay.
up, my man? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Bro.
Gonzalo, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gonzalo. Yeah,
Great to
I'm
meet
doing
you,
great.
my man.
What about you, Joe?
What you say?
What about you? Are you good?
I'm fantastic. Never been better. Never been better.
Hey guys, how are you
Excited.
doing?
Hey,
Sup,
Miguel.
boys.
Hi Joel, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, Miguel. How are you, Rodrigo?
Very
Great to
good.
see you here, man.
Oh, Miguel is in a different spot today.
Yeah, bro. Moving around.
Okay.
What's up?
So, boys.
So, boys, I'm not going to be able to have my camera on because I've got I got to deal with something real quick. But I'm here, boys. I'm listening. All right.
Okay.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. I love the energy. Is it all men? Are we all men in here?
Yeah, bro. It's
Lots
a
of
gay
testosterone.
private networking group. No, I'm joking.
Lots of testosterone in here, eh?
My man Christian in the. Oh my God, but the background, bro, in Panama,
Love it.
making us
Yes,
jealous.
sir.
Okay. Joel, can we wait like 2-3 minutes for more boys to join?
Yeah, man, I'm ready when you are.
Okay, amazing. Good. How have you been, bro?
Pardon?
How have you been? Good?
I've been absolutely fantastic. I've just got back from I done a podcast session. One of my I met a guy at the gym the other day. He's got a podcast helping people overcome mental health issues and stuff. I've had a few of them in the past myself, so it was good to get on there and be of value, really good.
Okay, amazing. Bro,
How about you, my man?
Bro, I'm doing fantastic. Like,
Good.
very busy, but just started running some follower ads right now. Have a team behind me, which I'm super happy, and organizing all 2026 for all of us. Like,
Beautiful.
yeah, I'm super excited.
I love it.
So yeah. Yep. Okay. I think Gonzalo said he's coming to London in like 2-3 weeks. So no, in 1 week. So I'll
Next
probably.
week.
You're gonna be there, right, Joe?
I'm in Manchester.
Oh, yeah, in Manchester, you're right.
Yeah, Manchester. It's like a 2-hour train, 3 to 4 hour drive. Not too far though.
Okay, amazing. Okay, so we're 12 right now on the call. Joe, like I think we're like 24, 25, but today not everyone could come to the call. Like a guy,
No problem.
like last minute emergency, like business owners.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Bro, they'll watch those who can't come, they'll watch the recording because it's fucking valuable. And I'm excited, bro. From what we talked about on that call before we came here to the masterclass, I'm very excited for what you're gonna talk about with the boys. And yeah, hopefully we can see each other again in Portugal at the retreat. I'd love to have you on for the Portugal.
Yeah,
that will be fucking sick, bro.
amazing.
So yeah, we can get started. Like those who are still joining, they'll catch up on everything. And
Yeah.
I already gave them like a brief introduction of you. But if you want to introduce yourself in like 2-3 minutes, and then we move to the value. Like I'll leave it up to you, bro.
Yeah, amazing, brother. Well, great to meet you all, gents. Bruno's probably introduced me. I am Joel McLeod. I'm 28 years old, and a little bit about me. I grew up on a council estate in America. You call it like the projects, right?
Yeah.
Grew up, no one around me worked. Never mind built a business, right? So it was built into me from a very early age that money is hard to come by. And if you want to be successful, you've got to be super smart. You've got to have an absolutely incredible skill set, etc., etc. And I found out through the material that I teach, I'm now top 1% of Bob Proctor's certified consultants worldwide, that a lot of those beliefs aren't true. But if we believe them, then it becomes true in our life, right? So I got kicked out of school at 13. I spent my teenage years hustling, selling weed, growing cannabis. I was just a product of my environment. My mum smoked weed, my dad smoked weed, my stepdad smoked weed. I mean, everyone around me smoked weed, so my life was around that, right? We really are a product of our environment. That's why I love what Bruno's doing here and you guys, because you're probably all goal achievers, business owners. So this is very good for you guys what you're doing. So I grew up from about 19. I met this amazing woman. She's the mother of my children, and for some reason I was staying at her house more, and I don't know why. I genuinely believe I was guided, but I picked up a book. Called Rich Dad Poor Dad. We all heard of that book? It's like the first go-to book that you read, right? And then I came across a book, and I still read it every day today. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. But when I was reading it, Napoleon's talking about, thoughts become things. And I thought that was a load of like woohoo, right? A lot of like weird stuff, like how can your thoughts become things? But for some reason, I kept studying it. And then I came across a man that was just barking instructions at me on YouTube called Bob Proctor. Now, Bob Proctor's mainly known because he played a big part in the film The Secret. So I kept watching him. He's talking about affirmations. If you can hold something in your mind, you can hold it in your hands, turning your yearly income into a monthly income. And I didn't believe that was possible, but for some reason I kept watching this guy on YouTube. But no matter how much I watched him, no matter how much I read Think and Grow Rich, all my clients have to have gold cards. But no matter how much I'd done it, my results didn't change. So I was in the modeling industry. I hated it. Everyone from the outside was like, oh, you're doing shoots for Dolce & Gabbana, you're traveling the world. But I hated it. And also, I never made more than £15,000 in a year. Some months I'd make 3K in a month. Some months I won't book a modeling job at all. And I've got two children. At the time, I only had one. Esme, she's 7 now. But now I've got a boy called Elijah, and he's 3. And I was pissed off, man. I mean, we're all men here, right? I was my ex-partner was paying most of the rent. I couldn't take my kids anywhere. I couldn't do anything with them. And I was super pissed and, cheesed off at my results. So I decided to go on Bob Proctor's website. And basically, as we all know, and now if you do sales calls and stuff, I just booked a call, but I didn't know it was going to be a sales call or anything like that. So I put in my information, and this guy called Cam, I had a voice call with him. And as I'm speaking to him, he asked me what my goal was. And I didn't have a clearly defined goal. I just said, I think what's really going to change my life is if I have some more money so I can do the things that I really want to do. So Cam turned around and he said, look, how much money would you really love to earn? And I said, well, I'd love to make 25,000. And he just told me straight, he said, look, that's the wrong goal. It's a terrible goal. You already know how to make £15,000, right? Why not focus on turning your yearly income into a monthly income? Now, if I was drinking at the time, I promise, I swear to God, I would have spat it out, because I didn't genuinely believe that was possible. It's illogical, right? As business owners, we think about, next year I'll do 10% better. Next year I'll do 20% better. But turning your yearly income into a monthly income sounds very illogical. But I was losing. I didn't have no money. He told me about this mentorship that I could join. It was a 12-month program. I believe I had a few $1,000s in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I asked him for a payment plan. He sorted me out. And the first thing that he taught me was to write down on a gold card, I am so happy and grateful now that I have turned my yearly income into a monthly income. And he said, you're not going to believe it. It's going to sound stupid. But when you wake up in the morning, you read it and you carry it with you everywhere that you go, right? Now, what happened before this, prior to this, I was always thinking about debt. I was always dreading when it came to, putting in my self-employment because of that £2,000-3,000 that I'd have to pay for tax. But what this got me doing is it got me thinking about money. And I remember sat in bed one night, and because I'm thinking about money, I'm attracting these ideas. How could I make this happen? And I had this voice come into my mind, go and build an online fitness company that operates all around the world. and it was clear. And I thought, I've got to act on that. I don't know how I'm going to do it, right? But I'm following this program. I understand the law of vibration. I understand that I need a business. I need a vehicle to actually attract this money through, because the only way that we receive money is in exchange for products or services that other people find useful and valuable. So I started getting people in shape for free. I used the Alex Hormozy method. I said, I'll get them in shape for free as long as they donate £100 to a charity of their choice. And I can also receive a before and after picture. So I've done that for a few people. Then I started giving value on Instagram. And within 5.5 months, I was bringing in cash collected £18,000 a month. And my life, it changed like night and day. So what I wrote on this card actually manifested into my physical life. So I'm taking my kids to Disneyland. You know, I'm in Dubai with them. I'm spending like £500-600 in that Salt Bay restaurant, which is overrated, by the way, because I never had money. I was trying to spend it as quick as I got it, right? And I was sat in Dubai in an apartment, and I was thinking, what the fuck has happened? Like, you've got kicked out of school at 13. You've got no GCSEs, no business experience. Now you're pretty much able to do everything that you ever dreamed of, right? And I knew it was through this material that Bob Proctor was teaching me. I was studying me every single day. You see, what most people try and do is they try and change the outside world. But what we've really got to understand is that the outside world is a direct reflection of what's going on inside of us. And every single day I was studying my mind. I was studying how powerful I really was, how my thoughts trigger feelings, those feelings produce actions, and those actions produce results in our physical world, right? And you remember when I said I got that voice in my head, like, go and build the online fitness company that operates all around the world? It was 2 in the morning in Dubai, and I had that same voice say, Joel, you've got to go and teach this. You got to go and work with Bob. Now, I didn't have a clue how I could work with Bob. So I rang Cam. He's from Canada, so it was pretty early where he was. I was in Dubai. And I said, look, how do I teach this material? I want to teach people how to get the results that I've been getting for myself. And he said, you know, I can become a consultant. It wasn't going to be easy. I'd have to become certified, make sure that I can facilitate the Thinking into Results program. And that was 18 months ago. And now I'm top 1% of Bob Proctor's consultants worldwide. And annually, I'm making around £640,000, which is probably, you know what, like 800,000. I have no team. I have no one but me and my marvelous mind. And I just wanted to come on here. Thank you, Bruno, for the opportunity just to give you guys exactly what has been working for me. Okay, so a lot of the things that I'm going to speak about are going to seem very illogical. But when we realize that the subconscious mind was programmed in an illogical way, it's going to make a lot of sense by the end of this, why we've got to follow these instructions if we want better results in our lives. All good? Yeah, amazing. Okay, so I want to start off by speaking about something that's very important, and we'll all know about if you've been in the self-development industry or you've got a business. Everyone talks about goals, right? But honestly, guys, do you know, if you walk down the street and you ask the next 100 people what their goal is, they're probably going to look at you and say, what do you mean? Now, if you ask them if they've got their goal written down on a card and they carry it everywhere with them, the odds are they're not, right? But we've got to understand what the true purpose of a goal is. Now, once we make 100K in a month, once we make $250,000 in a month, whatever it is that you want, you are going to be able to buy the house. You are going to be able to buy the car that you want, you know, the watches that you want, look after your family. But that's not the true purpose of a goal. The true purpose of a goal is to grow. It's to grow as a person. You've got to step into the version of you that has achieved that goal. So the way I teach my clients is we put goals into 3 categories. We've got A-type goals, we've got B-type goals, and we've got C-type goals. Now, an A-type goal is something that you're going after that you already know how to do. So I'll give you an example, right? If you're already bringing in cash collected £10,000 every single month, and you set a goal for November to bring in 10,000 cash collected, we would categorize that as an A-type goal because that's something that you already know how to achieve, right? Now, a B-type goal is what I found where most entrepreneurs, most business owners are, right? They set a goal that they think they can achieve. So if they grind a bit harder and they've got an amazing plan as well, if everything goes well, this is something that I think I can achieve, right? But remember when I said the true purpose of a goal isn't to get, the true purpose of a goal is to grow. The byproduct is we get amazing things whilst we grow, right? But if we're going after an A-type goal, there's no growth in that. Would you agree? And that's the true purpose of a goal, right? And when we go after a B-type goal, this is why most people never achieve goals, is they set a goal that they think they can achieve, they get going, they lose inspiration, and then they give up. They don't reach the goal, right? So what I get my clients to do is set a C-type goal. Now, when we go after C-type goals, we're going after what we really want. And I think that is a fucking amazing question. What is it that you would really love to happen? Okay, now we've really got to get into the creative process, and we've got to think about starting to use one of our higher faculties, which is our imagination. But what do we get told from little kids in school? Stop daydreaming, go after something that's realistic. I'm sure, we all wanted to be, professional footballers and astronauts, right? And we get that family member or that teacher that says, get a trade, be realistic, right? But as far as we know, we're the only creature on this planet that can fantasize. We're the only creature on this planet, as far as we know, that can fantasize. Ed Hillary was the first person to get to the top of Mount Everest. He fantasized. The Wright brothers used to fix bikes. They was bicycle mechanics. They fantasized about, putting something in the air that can do what the birds do. Their father was a Christian man. Their father told them that they're going to burn in hell just for thinking about it. The US government spent millions and millions trying to get a plane up in the air. They fantasized. Now, that would be categorized as a C-type goal. The Wright brothers didn't know they could create an aeroplane. They didn't think they could create an aeroplane, but they really wanted to. Napoleon Hill says that your imagination is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force that the world has ever known. It's actually been said that anything you imagine, you can create, right? Now, we've got to turn this fantasy. What I do in lesson 1 of thinking into results is we get you to write out a shopping list. So we're not thinking about how. It's if you've got all the resources, right? You had access to everything that you needed. What would you really love to happen in your life? That's a great question. Think about this, right? You wouldn't get on a plane if you said to the pilot, where are we going today? So I don't know, Joel, I might take you to, Portugal to do a masterclass in person for Bruno's community, or, we might go into a building. You wouldn't get on that plane because that plane does not have a destination. It doesn't have a destination. Most people are walking around without a goal. How are you going to get to a place if you don't know that place? And it's not good enough to say, do you know what? I want a successful business. You attract one more client, your business is more successful. Our subconscious mind only responds to specific instructions. How much money do you want every month? How many sales do you want to attract every single month? Okay. Now, we use our imagination to build this fantasy. We're not thinking about how, because if you already knew how to do it, then you would have already manifested it into your outside world. We're not going to know how. I love the quote by Steve Jobs. He said, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. So it's only when we reach the goal, it's only when I turned my yearly income into a monthly income that I looked back and I was like, that's how I did it. Okay. So the creative process is first, we've got to fantasize. We've got to use our imagination, and then we've got to turn that fantasy into a theory. That's when we start using our reasoning faculty and we start playing with it. But before we can do that, we've got to ask ourselves 2 questions. Number 1 is, am I able to do it? Let's say your yearly income into a monthly income. If you can hear my voice right now, I can show you how to do that. You can be actually pretty dumb and make a lot of money. It's got nothing to do with knowledge. Knowledge is important, but it's to do with your paradigm and what vibration you're on. But you've got to ask yourself, are you willing to do it? Are you able to do it? Now, if we go to the only 2 sources of reference that we can go to find out anything about ourselves, one is science and one is theology. And we ask them, what are we capable of doing as human beings? They can't tell you. All they can tell you is you have infinite potential. Like, really think about that. You that watching this now, you have fucking infinite potential. No one knows what you're capable of doing. So the answer to, are you able to do it? Yeah, you are able to do it. You might not know how to do it, but you are able to do it. Okay, now the second question is a little bit different. It's, are you willing to do it? Are you willing to do whatever it takes to get the image in your mind to manifest into physical form? Now, you might ask, well, Joel, what's it going to take? Listen, your goal is going to take whatever it's going to take. It's going to take whatever it's going to take. I have calls with people all the time and I ask them how committed they are. If I hear 99%, all I hear is that you're 100% out on your goals. You've got to be absolutely all in and willing to do whatever it takes. Let's think about a baby. A baby's willing to do whatever it takes to reach its C-type goal. What's its C-type goal? Well, it's crawling. It sees its big brother and sister walking. Baby doesn't know it can walk, doesn't think it can walk. It's a C-type goal. The baby really wants to walk. Baby can fall down the stairs, gets back up. Baby can bang the head, gets back up. And after a while, they're walking. And they look about and they say, look, mum, look, dad, I'm walking. And then after a while, we do it with a bike. And then after a bit, they're like, look, mum, dad, I'm driving my fucking bike with no hands, right? The baby's willing to do whatever it takes. You see, failing at something doesn't make you a failure. You're only a failure when you stop. Okay? But you've really got to say, do you know what? I am all in and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to become an absolutely amazing business owner and an entrepreneur. Right? We don't want to mess about with small goals. I want you to go after a massive goal financially, right? A goal is something that you're going after that you've never done before. That's so important that we understand that, okay? When I set a goal, if it doesn't scare me, I know I'm on the wrong track. You see, it scares you because on a subconscious level, you've never been there before, but on a conscious level, it's what you really want. I mean, we've all been there when we're 15, 16 and we go to, you know, ask that pretty girl on a date. Like we're petrified because on a subconscious level, we've never done it before. But on a conscious level, I mean, she's sexy, she's beautiful. Like we want to go and ask her. It's what we really want, right? So I'm always looking at all the time of, am I uncomfortable? Am I scared? Because if I'm scared, it means that I'm growing. And I know every cave that I'm afraid to enter, it holds the treasure that you've been seeking. Okay? Now, what I really want to talk about is having a goal card. This is essential. You know, some of you might be Christian, Muslim, maybe you're not religious, maybe you're just spiritual. But even the Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, all these prophets and wise men, they disagreed on pretty much every part of life apart from one thing. And that one thing is we become what we think about. I'd really recommend writing that down. We literally become what we think about. Now, you might be thinking, you know, not that fucking thinking stuff again. Listen, guys, that thinking stuff is important. That thinking stuff created the Google Meet that we're on right now. It created your iPhone. It created the car. It created the airplane. It created everything. That thinking stuff is the most potent form of energy. Thoughts are not something that you stay in your mind. There's a great quote, we think in secret and it comes to pass. Our environment is our looking glass. So we've got to ask ourselves, what are we thinking about? And we'll get into paradigms, okay, because they're very strong. And if we don't change the paradigm, our income definitely isn't going to change, right? This disrupts your habitual way of thinking. I always have my goal card with me. My clients aren't even allowed on the Zoom. I don't care how much they pay me. I don't care. You're not coming on my coaching calls without your goal card. It's not about the money for me. Do exactly what I tell you to do, or I don't want to work with you, right? We become what we think about. So if you write your goal on a card in present tense and you're thinking about it, you know sooner or later it's going to be yours because that's what you're thinking about. And if we're thinking about nothing, then we're going to become nothing, right? Another major point is your self-image. That's part of your subconscious mind. It's the way that you see yourself, not the way I see you. It's the way that you see yourself. There's a great book on it. If you've not read it, it's by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. It's called Cybernetics, Psycho-Cybernetics. It's an incredible book. And he used to be a plastic surgeon. And what he noticed is that he would, let's say he's got two girls, They both have broken their nose. He does surgery on both of them, makes them look like amazing again. One comes out of the surgery like, wow, I feel amazing, I look amazing. And the other would come out of the surgery and go, yeah, it looks better, but I still feel the same. So he discovered that we have two images, one to the outside world and one the way that we see ourselves, right? You cannot run a 7-figure company with a 5-figure self-image. It's impossible. We can't outperform our self-image. Now, our self-image is a cybernetic instrument. This is what Maxwell Maltz talks about, right? Inside of your brain, you have a cybernetic instrument. It works the exact the same as a thermostat in a room or an autopilot on a plane. Do your research on it. They're called cybernetic instruments. So when the pilot gets the plane in the air, okay, he lets go of the controls and he puts the autopilot on. Let's say he's going to Dubai. He puts the autopilot on to Dubai. He doesn't have to touch the plane. If bad weather takes the plane off course, the cybernetic instrument, it picks up the deviation from the goal, which is Dubai, and it brings it back on track. Well, you have the same thing in your mind. A rocket fails its way to the moon. Same as a thermostat in a room. If your subconscious mind is programmed to earn £20,000 a month and you make £50,000 in a month, your subconscious mind is going to pick up the deviation, and the next month you're going to flat out, you'll probably self-sabotage, procrastinate, not do your income producing tasks, and you'll level out to that same income. Just like if a thermostat in a room is set at 20 degrees and cold air comes into the room and knocks the room down to 10 degrees. The thermostat, the cybernetic instrument, it picks up the deviation. It's going to put the heating on until the room goes back to 20 degrees. We cannot outperform our self-image. Okay, all we can do is create a new one. And when you understand how to do it, things start to change immensely. Your self-image controls how you show up on sales calls. It shows you, it determines your confidence, your certainty, your belief system. Okay, so what you've got to do is you've got to create a version of you who already has the company that you want to have. What type of clients does this person attract? How does that version of you think? How do they feel? How do they act? How do they make decisions? How do they dress? How do they show up on camera? How do they smell? You know, I'm telling you, you can have anything that you want, but before you can have it, you've got to make a committed decision to become him. You've got to make a committed decision to become him right now. Does that make sense? Right? Because when we think about the law of vibration, right? And I mean, people can argue with me, people can come back and forth. It doesn't change the law. You know, we can argue about the law of gravity. If I drop this Mont Blanc pen, right? It's always going to go down. Now, we can call it God, we can call it whatever you want, whatever it is something that's bigger than us, and we can't change it. All we can do is work in harmony with it. Well, there's other laws of the universe, universal principles, the law of vibration, the law of receiving, the law of circulation, the law of attraction, the law of cause and effect, right? Now, has anyone heard of the book, The Secret? Put your hand up if you have. Yeah, The Secret emphasizes the law of attraction, right? My mentor, Bob Proctor, was in The Secret, but a lot of people that was in The Secret didn't really have a clue what he was talking about, right? The law of attraction is a secondary law. The primary law is a law of vibration. It's the vibration that your body's in that is controlling what you attract, okay? Now, when it comes to health, when it comes to relationships, we can't measure it as much. Do you know what I love about money? We can measure it down to the penny. So just think about what you've earned over the past 6 months, month after month. The law of attraction says that we can only attract what we are in harmony with. So your income right now is showing you what frequency you're on. Now we can change the frequency. We change the frequency by changing our thought process. Okay. I've helped dozens, lots and lots of entrepreneurs. You know, some people are really caught up in the strategy, and they'll say, well, Joel, if I want to change my business results, I've got to change my marketing. I've got to change, you know, my sales script, or, you know, I've got to change my actions within my business. And say, of course, You know, we can't just visualize and fucking sit in bed. That's not going to happen, right? But okay, our business results come from our business actions. But let's go deeper. Where do our actions come from? It's a great question, right? Our actions come from our feelings. And our feelings come through our thoughts. So if we want to change our results, we've got to change the primary cause of our results, which is what we think about. This is a great tool to disrupt the paradigm. Remember, your paradigm is just lots of ideas and habits that are fixed inside your subconscious mind. So in other words, it's your belief system, right? We can't outperform our belief system. It's just a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And if you look at what you're doing in your personal life, in your business, 95, all of it's habitual. Pretty much all of it is habitual. You get up out of bed, even if you live with someone, and they just fall into a routine. So if we want to change our business results, we've got to change habits, but a habit is nothing more than an idea that's fixed inside the subconscious mind. So it's the belief system. Guys, I can talk forever about this material, so I want to break it up and just go into, if anyone's got any questions, I'm sure Samuel's got his hand up, right? Nice to meet you, brother. How are you?
Doing amazing, man. How are you doing?
Good, man. I'm fantastic.
By the way, loving the talk. Really enjoy this subject. I had a question about, like, we see or we understand like visualization, like getting your mind straight right in the morning. But what other practical steps would you include in terms of changing the way you see yourself and changing the way? No, I'm just not sure if I got right. If it's just visualization, doing the right work, like the gym, or is there anything else? You know what I mean?
No, I've got an amazing action step that if you apply, you're going to see incredible results. Right? Let me explain the process behind it. Our subconscious mind, it can't tell the difference between what's real and what's imagined. Right? We've all been on diets, right? And then we start visualizing this like juicy cheeseburger or Domino's pizza, and then the mouth, like we have saliva in the mouth, right? But there's no pizza. Subconscious mind doesn't know that though. So if we tell it a lie over and over again, we eventually start to believe that it's true. So what I get my clients to do is you want to write out in present tense a very detailed description of the person you want to be. Okay. But this isn't like affirmation. This isn't like a goal card. This is like, you know, how many hours a day do you work? Like, what does your day look like? You know, how many times a week do you get your hair cut? How do you dress? How do people feel when they leave your presence? You know, I have loads of things in there. The fact that I fast daily, the fact that, you know, I'm a global speaker, you know, I make millions. I drive a Ferrari 488. You want to go into specific details, even in terms of your relationship, the type of people that you attract. We don't just want to attract any type of client. Like when I first got into business, like I was desperate. I was like, if this person says, yeah, and you've got the money, like I'm going to take the money. No, listen, you don't want terrible clients. It's going to make your business a whole lot worse. Right. You know, you want everything in there, a written detailed description in present tense. Then you want to make a recording of it and you want to listen to it at least 4 times a day. And when I say at least 4 times a day, like that's minimum. Like I overdose on mine. Overdose. And it's funny because when you listen to it after like a month, you're like, shit, I'm doing that. I'm doing this. I'm doing that, right? Everyone heard of Think and Grow Rich? If you ain't got this, man, you need to get this. This is a game changer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know by Bruno? Yeah, well, listen to this here. He's talking about Edward C. Barnes, who became the closest business associate of Thomas Edison. Now, he says, though the book outlines an array of principles and tips for success, these can be boiled down to 4 clear elements. Number 1 is desire. Number 2 is faith. Number 3 is plans. And number 4 is persistence. A burning desire to do, Hill wrote, is the basis of all achievement, particularly if it is officially made our definite major purpose. He tells the story of Edward C. Barnes, a man who looked like a tramp, but walked into the office of Thomas Edison one day insisting that he would be a partner of Edison's business. Though Barnes had arrived by blind baggage on the back of a freight train, Edison was impressed by the depth of his intention and decided to give him a job on the margins of his operation. But Barnes was not content to simply work for Edison and waited for his opportunity. When the inventor brought out a new dictating machine that his sales force did not believe would sell, Barnes suggested he market it. This was the beginning of a highly successful and lucrative 30-year business alliance. As Hill puts it, Barnes literally fought himself into a role with Edison with a burning desire that became his definite major purpose. In the end, who was Thomas Edison to prevent the fulfillment of a such strong intention? But pay attention to this here. This is very powerful. And this is the action step that I've just given you, Samuel. It said Barnes didn't only have the desire, he had the faith that he would get what he wanted. Before he even entered Edison's office, he had at length pictured himself working with and being of essential service to him. He knew it would happen. Yet Napoleon Hill realized that most people do not naturally have such faith and are at a disadvantage as a result. Enter auto-suggestion, which is what I've just recommended, right? The process by which we affirm to ourselves via a daily spoken mantra charged with emotion the person we wish to become. Over time, these affirmations settle into the subconscious mind with the weight of fact, whether or not we initially believed in them. Mere thoughts become convictions. Now, faith is a feeling of relaxed inevitability that something will come to pass. Yet through autosuggestion, which is a process validated by today's cognitive behavioral therapy, we can engineer this powerful state at will. So it's a very powerful process because your subconscious mind, if you tell it a lie over and over again, it starts to believe that is true. But what's the advantage of doing that? Well, let's think about it. Subconscious mind is not the thinking mind. We'll get into the stick person in a minute. I know Bruno likes that. The subconscious mind is the emotional mind. It's the feeling mind, right? Now, feeling is just a word that we made up to describe conscious awareness of vibration. So if you ask someone, how are you doing today? And they say, you know what, I'm feeling crap. You're going to notice this all the time now, and you're going to interpret it. What they've just said is they're on a crap vibration. Do you know when you're on a crap vibration, all you can attract to you is crap things? We've all been there when we woke up in a shit mood and, you know, traffic lights take longer. People are, you know, that's not them. That's us. It's the vibration we're on. We're attracting it. So when we get our subconscious mind to believe that we're that person, and it's done through a process, it's done through repetition, and it's usually done alongside the help of an experienced mentor, but the whole process of it is through repetition, the same way it was formed. When your subconscious mind believes it and you feel like you are that person, when you can genuinely say from deep inside of you, I feel like that person, well, what have we just said? I'm consciously aware that I am on the vibration of that person, right? You don't just attract the money and it falls on your lap. That's not the way the law of attraction works. You attract the ideas, the people, the resources, the situations, and the conditions needed to manifest what you are into physical form. Remember, what is impressed must be expressed. It's very important to understand, right? Now, the subconscious mind, when we came into this world, we only had a subconscious mind. Okay, so through that self-image formula, listening to this at least 4 times a day, and that's like a bare minimum, by the way, our subconscious mind believes it through repetition. So I'll give you an example. I can see Miguel, right? Miguel isn't Miguel. That's just a name that he's probably going to go by for the rest of his life. When he was a baby and his subconscious mind was wide open, subconscious mind has no ability to reject. It will accept anything that's impressed upon it. His parents planted over and over again that name Miguel, right? Now, if his parents would have said the name Miguel one time, he wouldn't respond to it. By the time he was 1 year old, he probably heard the name Miguel at least 100,000 times until it became a fixed idea in his subconscious mind. Now, if he's in the street and someone shouts out, Jamie, nothing happens in Miguel's central nervous system. But if we walk past him and we say Miguel, instantly central nervous system picks it up and he responds to that name. But that's not who Miguel is. That's just an idea that his parents fixed inside his subconscious mind, right? The biggest side of you I will never see. This is just the body that we live in. You know, we got to understand that we've been made in God's image. Your spiritual DNA is perfect. That's why you desire things. Desire is that perfection seeking expression through your actions. Anything that you desire, you can do, but it's got to be done for a process. Let me bring the image in to work with, right? Because if we're going to fix our results in our business, and this is not to say you're not doing good, by the way, this is just saying with this information, you're going to do better. Does that make sense? We have to deal with the mind, because the body is an instrument of the mind, right? But when people think of the mind, most people think of the brain. But the brain isn't more of the mind than your fingernail is, right? Your brain and your fingernail is a manifestation of the mind. But if I get a big samurai sword and I start slicing you open and look for your mind, I'm not going to find your mind, because mind is an activity. Mind is an activity. Now, if we're going to fix our results, all comes from the mind. So we need an image of the mind to work with. When I first seen this, I was like, this is fucking silly. This has made me, God knows how much. It's the most powerful concept I personally ever come across, because we think in pictures. If I say to you, what does your girlfriend look like? An image of your girlfriend just flashed on your mind. If I say, what does your car look like? An image of your car, right? You've all probably got a kitchen. What side does your refrigerator open from, the left or the right? You see, now you're not on Google Meet with me. You're in your kitchen. You're trying to figure out if it's coming from the left or the right, right? We think in pictures, right? So we need an image to work with. So I want you to imagine that this is you, okay? The top, the big circle is your mind, right? This is kind of like different to Zoom. Can you see all of it? Perfect. Yeah, I'll just move back a bit. Cool. So the top part is your mind and the bottom part is your body, right? Now we're going to split the mind into two. Top half, conscious mind, bottom half, subconscious mind. And this is the body. It just expresses whatever's in the subconscious mind, right? Now, hooked up to our conscious mind, we have 5 senses. We can see, we can hear, we can smell, we can taste, and we can touch. And as long as we live in this physical world, we need those 5 senses to correspond with our physical world. Now let's break down the difference, because this is a game changer for you guys when you really understand it. Your conscious mind is your thinking mind. So everything I'm saying right now is going into your conscious mind. This is where you gather information. This is the part of your mind that school focuses on. You know, you read a book, you memorize it, you go in another room, you answer questions on it, you get a pass, and then you've got a GCSE, right? But just because you know something doesn't mean you're going to do it, right? So your conscious mind is your thinking mind. In other words, you have a voice in your head that is talking to you 24 hours a day. If you thought you was the only person that has that, you're not. Every single person has that. You can't stop thinking just as much as you can't stop eating and drinking, okay? So this is your conscious mind. This is what we think with, okay? Your conscious mind has the ability to reject and accept information. So let's say if you're in the construction industry and you turn on the news and the news says, oh shit, it's going to be a terrible month for people in the construction industry, you have the ability to accept that and say, okay, it's going to be a shit month for me because I'm in the construction industry. Or you have the ability to say, no, might be for all yous, I'm going to have the best month of my life in the construction industry. We have the ability to accept and reject. You see, when we're a baby, though, we don't have that. We come into the world, subconscious mind is wide open. So the beliefs that our parents have around money, have around business, we take on, you know. If you look at people that are on welfare, you know, the 5th, 6th, 7th generation welfare, we're literally a product of our genes, right? But let's go on to the subconscious mind, because this is the game changer. Subconscious mind, for one, cannot reject. It will accept anything as if it's real. Same as that pizza and cheeseburger analogy, right? Your subconscious mind cannot tell a difference between what is visualized and what is real. So if you tell it a lie over and over again, you'll eventually start to believe that it's true, okay? So conscious mind is our thinking mind. Subconscious mind is our feeling mind. It doesn't speak to us. It's our feelings. That's why we can be doing affirmations, looking in the mirror saying, I am rich, but deep down we're feeling like, I'm attracting clients, but deep down we got that feeling like, shit, I don't believe this. I'm not attracting clients, right? Do your own research in your own time. Research shows our subconscious mind controls 95% of our thoughts, emotions, actions, and decisions. Okay. So that means that your subconscious mind and your self-image controls 95% of your entire life. I know every single one of you know that you should be doing something in your business that would move it forward and you're not doing it. Right? There's a big difference between what we know and what we do. Our conscious mind is in control of what we know, but our subconscious mind is in control of what we do with what we know. Okay? So this is where attitude comes into play. You know, as a business owner, as a leader, I won't use all to develop a bulletproof attitude, but we've got to know what attitude is. Attitude is the composite of our thoughts, feelings, actions, and that's what produce our results. So when I hear someone saying, oh no, my income's this way because, you know, I had a terrible business partner or, you know, something happened at home. No, if you choose to let that be, you choose to let that be. No one can control the results you're getting in your life unless you let them control your thinking, because our thoughts produce feelings, feelings express themselves through the body in actions, and those actions produce results. You see, the problem is most people use these five senses. They look at the income that they're currently making. They're thinking, I'm currently earning this much. They feel like they're earning that much. They behave like they're earning that much, and their actions are that much. Go and ask the next 100 people what they earned over the past 10 years. I guarantee you 95% of them are going to say the same year after year. But through those years, they read more sales books. They read more books on money. They read more business books, but the results are the same. Super interesting, right? We can't let the outside world control our thinking. That's one of the biggest mistakes. We've got to get our thinking to control our results. Now, the way it's done is for a process. We've got to change the paradigm, right? Now, there's two ways to do it. One is an emotional impact. So something like COVID-19 or 9/11, the Twin Towers, boom, that's like a shock. That caused, not for me, because I wasn't involved in 9/11, but for the people involved, that causes a big shift in their subconscious mind. They're usually negative and they're out of our control. They can be positive. Like, let's say, for example, if a woman or a teenage girl, she got told at an early age that she can't conceive a child, and then she's in her 30s and she gets caught pregnant, that'd be like a positive emotional impact, right? The second and most reliable way to change your subconscious mind is through the constant spaced repetition of new ideas over and over and over again. You see, it's illogical to read a book through the second time, the 10th time, the 110th time. I've been reading this book every day for about 4 years. Now, the book's not changed. It's just the book. But I keep reading something till I'm doing it. What's the point in having all of this information in our conscious mind? This is where most people are. They're reading books, they're reading books, they're reading books, they're reading books, and they're frustrated because they've got superior knowledge with inferior results, because school and the people around us never tell us how to change the paradigm. Super interesting, right? I take people through a process in lesson 3, which is all about changing your paradigm. You want to get a sheet of paper and you want to write down a result that you're not happy with, right? It could be in your income, could be with your sales, right? It's a very powerful exercise. You want to write down your income the way it is, or your sales. You know, when I get ahead, I lose some. You know, leads are not consistent. I'm not making as much as I want. I'm not being productive as I want, etc., etc. Write it down in all its negativity. Okay. Then you want to go, okay, what non-productive actions do I have around this? I'm not asking enough people to buy. I'm not serving enough. Remember, if you want to earn more money, stop thinking about the money and think about how can you be of more service. If I come in here and be of service to you, if any of you at the end of it, you know, want to book a call and talk about thinking into results, then fine. If you don't, I'm still going to receive from somewhere, because that's a law of the universe. I've served, and what I put out, I'm going to get back. So really focus on how can you serve more, right? Where was I going with that? Yeah. So we write down all of our non-productive actions. You know, I'm not waking up early. I'm not asking clients for referrals. I'm not posting testimonials enough. All of these non-productive actions. And then we get a new piece of paper and we understand there's a universal principle called the law of opposites. You can't have an inside to this room without an outside. You can't have an up without a down, a red without a blue, a night without a day, the sun without rain, you know, hot without cold, right? If there's a negative, there's a positive. So now we use the law of opposites and we write down in present tense the result that we want, and we write it in present tense. I am so happy and grateful now that effective leads flow to me on a continuous basis. My sales keep getting better and better, and my income keeps increasing every single month. Now what we do is we get the result that we don't want, and understand the result that we don't want, the first piece of paper, that is just an idea that is fixed in our subconscious mind. Okay, so we get that piece of paper and we go outside, and guys, we literally fucking burn it. Now that might sound silly. I'm telling you, do it. I don't care if it's silly. It works like magic. It's not going to get rid of the idea in the subconscious mind, but it's symbolic. We're letting it go. Okay, now we've got the result that we want. Now remember, we never manifest things by thinking about the opposite. We can't manifest health by thinking about illness. We can't manifest abundance by thinking about poverty, right? So now we've got this new result. You should wake up in the morning and write that out 100 times every morning and 100 times every single night. Now, just to show you that I am a product of the product, this is something that I do every single day. Every single day, right? Now, as you're writing it, you're probably going to be saying, I don't believe it. I know it's not going to happen. And then you keep writing it, you keep writing it. Then you start to believe it. And then when you believe it, and then you start to see your results change. But it's illogical. You know, we've been told in school, once we've read a book, we put the book down. It's not illogical when you understand how your mind works. It was programmed through repetition, and it's going to be reprogrammed through repetition. Make sense? Right? Now, the mind's probably going to say, you know, I don't want to do that. It's the only way. And also, you should get yourself like a program, or find someone that you resonate with that's getting the results, and find someone that is going to take you for a program where you're studying you. You know, it's very important. Of course, you've got to build your sales skills. You obviously you need a skill set when it comes to business, but it's 95% mindset, 5% strategy. Oops. Yeah, it's literally 95% mindset and 5% strategy. So you've got to ask yourself, how much of the day am I spent studying myself? I'm up at 5:30 a.m. every single day. I write 10 things that I'm grateful for. I get myself a coffee. I've got my accountability group waiting at 6 a.m. for me. You know, accountability, we take out insurance on our cars, on our home. You know, why we're not taking out insurance on our goals? This goal is extremely important to me. We've got to treat it with respect. Okay, so I wake up in the morning and I'm studying. I spend 50 minutes, I'm studying me, right? We should never study in working hours. No, they're for business income producing tasks. And the way that I've found a very productive way, and my mentor Bob Proctor learned this from Earl Nightingale, is before I go to bed, or in the evening, just before I wind down, I write down on my whiteboard, I've got it here, I am so happy and grateful that I did the following today. And then I just write down 6 things, goal achieving activities. These are not visualizing. These are not listening to the self-image. No, these are things that are going to move you physically towards your goal. I write down 6 things. Could be my YouTube video, change my landing page. I'm going to send an email today, do this masterclass for you guys. I've just done a podcast before this, done an Instagram reel, put some value on my story. And I just wake up and I focus on one until it's done. Focus on another one. Whoa, if you do 6 goal achieving activities every single day for the next 90 days, and you do this mindset work, you make sure you're on the right vibration with it, I'm telling you, your income will skyrocket like night and day. Yeah, I'm more than happy to answer some questions if you guys have got anything on your mind. I know that's a lot. Miguel Marino.
Yeah. Joel, thanks so much for the call and the value. It's been amazing, man. I really respect your time and the value here. So thank you so much.
My pleasure.
On my side, so I want your opinion on this, on my approach. So I started my entrepreneurial journey 4 years ago, and at the same time, I started developing my as a whole, like fitness, mindset, relationships. And I started to visualize the type of money that I want to make and the type of people that I want to attract in my life and the body that I want. And what I did was like I created a list and I put the list on my shower. So every day when I went to the shower and I took a cold shower, I read the list every day for 4 years. all of the things that I want to achieve in my life. And eventually, like you said, I became that person, and now
Yes.
I'm changing the list as I go to achieve the new
Mhm.
level and a new version of myself. So I really agree with the approach that you share here.
Beautiful. I love that. Well, look, if you've got it in front of you, you're spending more time thinking about what you want. You know,
Exactly.
if you've got your goals in front of you, I've got one of these stuck to my car. I got one in my bathroom. I got one under my pillow. I got two on my laptop in front of me here, one in my pocket, because we literally become what we think about, man. So I'm not surprised you did it. Well done. I
Thank you.
love that.
Thank you. And also, I have another question on your journey as well.
Yes.
When was the moment that the paradigm shift happened for you and you realize you can achieve anything that you want?
What a great question. My paradigm changed, Miguel, when I got mentorship. Yeah, I came across Think and Grow Rich and Bob when I was like 20, 21. And like I said, I was modeling, right? And nothing, my income didn't change. And people would reach out like, we can help you. And I'm like, fuck you. Like, I've got the books, like, I've got ChatGPT, like, it's going to work. But then I had to get really honest and take a look at my results. And then once I got mentorship, you see, mentorship is so important because it's not just information and knowledge. Remember, like if you read Think and Grow Rich, it goes into this part of your mind, but that's not going to get you the results. It's the accountability and it's the implementation. I don't care about how much knowledge I've got. I've we're in November, right? I probably read about 4 books this year. I just read the same book over and over and over again until I'm doing it. Yeah, so mentorship really changed the game for me. Like I said, I facilitate I'm a certified top 1% Bob Proctor consultant, and I facilitate this program for leaders. But the only reason that I started working with Bob is because I went through it and I see the results that I had, and I genuinely believe. I heard Bob. I've done the online fitness coaching, but I couldn't sit and do master classes for you guys on like calorie deficit. Like it bored the hell out of me. Where Bob used to say, you've got to love what you do. When you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And I'm fucking obsessed with this. But yeah, mentorship really changed the game for me. It's my biggest expense, and it always will be.
Amazing. Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome. It's kind of like when we learn how to drive, right?
Exactly.
Imagine how many times we'd have to take the car to the garage if we just got in it and we were stalling and we'd be scratching it and scratching the rims. Where no, we get with someone. Remember, because if you don't drive, it's just not an idea that's fixed in your subconscious mind. So you get a mentor, they sit with you, they coach you through it, and then once it becomes part of the paradigm, I mean, I know I shouldn't, but sometimes I'm on my phone, I'm fucking speaking to my kids, I'm looking in the back, I'm tickling my son. Like it's automatic. It's just part of your subconscious mind.
Even with the one part that I like as lot as an entrepreneur is like the relationship part, because you have a lot of time to dedicate to the business and the work and stuff.
Mhm.
And last year I visualized myself having this community, and I now have it. So it really works.
I love it. Good for you, my man.
Thank you so much, man.
You're welcome. Yes, Marco. I think you're on mute, brother.
Yo, Joel, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Great. How are you?
I'm good, man. Firstly, my computer's dying, so I have to be quick. Actually, hold on. If anyone else has a question, I'm gonna put my computer charging. Hold on. I'm just gonna put my computer to charge so it doesn't die halfway through. 1 second.
No problem.
Samuel, Miguel, Chris, and these boys have been quiet, and Gonzalo as well. Let us know. Yes, Samuel has been writing a lot, I've seen. Let us know questions for Joel. Marco is almost ready.
Okay, we're good. We're good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, my man. How are you?
All right, I'm good, man. I'm good. Firstly, bro, thank you so much for hopping on the call.
My pleasure.
I'm not gonna lie, I had like excuses to miss the call. Like my Wi-Fi isn't working in the house, so I'm on my 4G. But
Yeah.
I'm so glad I came.
Good.
I mean, it's been amazing. And brother, I have a couple questions. Firstly, it's about a book. I don't know if you've read Psycho Cybernetics.
Yeah, Maxwell Maltz, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Great book.
Yeah, okay, because I don't know, I'm just considering reading it. I don't know if it's worth it or not.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, get it, yeah.
Okay.
But
And
Marco,
the second,
Marco, here's the thing: you got to do exactly what he tells you to do. That's the thing. Let's not just read the book. Reading it's not going to do nothing. When he says do this exercise, we've got to do it. We've got to implement it.
Okay.
That's what's going to get us the results. But yeah, you get that book. Buy another copy and give it to someone else as well. It's a very powerful
Okay.
book.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. I'll do that. Secondly, do you have like any other book recommendations other than that one?
Yeah, I mean, I read Think and Grow Rich every day just because my mentor did, and I know if I want to be you know, an intelligent leader, first of all, we've got to be intelligent followers. Another God Works Through Faith, I really like, by Robert Russell. He's also got another book called You Too Can Be Prosperous. That's an absolutely fantastic book. What else have I got in front of me? Neville Goddard's work is absolutely incredible. Neville Goddard's work has helped me a lot. He really talks about how to get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and he talks about the law of assumption. That's a very powerful one. Yeah, I won't overload you with them. If I was to pick one, it would always be Think and Grow Rich. I love books that instruct me. So in Think and Grow Rich on chapter 2 on desire, he's got 6 steps that will transmute your desire for money into its physical equivalent. Now, when I read books, I do exactly what they say. So he's got 6 steps. I'll let you read them in your own time. But he says at the end of them, he says, it may be helpful to all who fail to recognize the soundness of these 6 steps to know that the information they convey was received from Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie was the first billionaire ever. Yeah, that's where my lineage is from. So Andrew Carnegie mentored Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill mentored Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale mentored my mentor Bob Proctor, and then Bob Proctor mentored me. So the information that you're getting now is like through 160 years experience from the most successful people in the world, you know. And I always say to people, tell me what you want and I'll show you how to get it. And Bob used to have that on his website. And it's not arrogance, it's just we're dealing with universal principles, and you are so powerful. If you can hold it in your mind, I can actually show you how to hold it in your hand. Super cool. I'd say Think and Grow Rich, and those 6 steps, he says that they was Andrew Carnegie gave them to him, and also the 6 steps here recommended were carefully scrutinized by Thomas Edison. Like when I hear things like that, I wonder how many people have read Think and Grow Rich and not done those 6 steps. And then they sit there and go, this material doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work because you're not fucking taking action on it. We've got an unshakable belief, aggressive action. Let's go. Think and Grow Rich. And Psycho Cybernetics is a great book as well.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. And bro, I just have one last question.
Yeah.
It's actually amazing because you did fitness coaching and I'm a fitness coach myself. Right.
Okay.
And man, the one thing that I kind of like, I feel like genuinely like in the mental aspect that has not been allowing me to scale is the fact that sometimes I look at my product and I'm like, why is someone paying this amount of money, right? Because I did everything for free, right? I did everything like I figured everything out by myself through my own like I learned implementation through trial and error. I learned information through searching on YouTube, on Google Scholar, on all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I didn't have to pay for anything because, you know, I had that drive, I had that will to do it myself. So, and I feel like something that kind of like messes with me is the fact that I can't myself envision me buying that product because I don't need it, but I'm doing it for the people that do need it, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, how do I go around that? How do I wrap my mind around the concept of being like, I am worthy?
What's the product?
So I do 3 months of coaching for 1.3K or 6 months for 2.2, right?
What's that, dollars?
And euros.
Oh, euros, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's your belief system. Yeah. You've got to believe your word. Listen, if you believe that you're worthy of charging 10,000 euros for a 6-month coaching program with you, you'll always get it. You know, when you're doing those sales calls, they're not buying the coaching program. They're buying your belief. If you believe you can help them get the result or not, but you've got to believe. This is all about self-image. Come and talk to me about that for sure. You can. How much are you? How much are you making? How much are you making a month now from it? Breaking up a bit.
I mean, I'm very like recent to this. I've only been coaching online for 6 months, so I'm just like figuring the whole like social media content, attracting leads, everything else. And last month I made 3.5. This month, I'm trying to really like grasp the concept of making 5K months. This is all because like 6 months ago I was a broke college kid in Italy that lived off of 200 euros for food, and like I could like literally money was so scarce to me that it's really fucked up my image, and I'm trying to like get rid of that now and go into that abundance mindset. And it's just the biggest thing I feel like I've been struggling with. I've been fighting against the abundance mindset of money.
Yeah, self-image. Look, we there's probably things in your subconscious mind if you grew up like that. I grew up like that, right? I mean, if my mum said she was making spaghetti bolognese, that was like fucking Christmas in my household, right? So yeah, usually we got to change the beliefs around money. What else can I give you on that? Personally, I would come and chat to me for sure. But it's showing you, okay, last month it's showing you what you're in harmony with. Okay, I earned 3,500 euros last month. That's showing me what frequency I'm on. The first thing I would help you change is that 5,000 euros is not a good goal.
Yeah,
it's not going to.
Yeah, I got that. This call, I understood like that shit is way too fucking low.
Yeah, it's not a good goal. It's not going to inspire you.
Like I need to be scaling. I need to be thinking of something that is like unfathomable to me, or was ever unfathomable to me, just to make that my reality.
100%. Focus on 30K a month. You already know how to make 3.5K in a month. Focus on 30K a month. Get it on a goal card. Write it in present tense, and give yourself like 90 days to accomplish it. You'll be amazed if you hold your goal before you and you go and serve your clients. You go and serve people. You'll be amazed at what happens in your life, Marco. You got a great future ahead of you, my man.
Thank you so much, Phil. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome, brother. Samuel?
Yo, Joel. Well, I had a quick question. Like, when you write your goals, do you like scale them up in like 90 days? Or you just write like the very end goal and just work towards it? And the reason for my question is I find myself, if I write a really big goal, I kind of see it as like a magic, like fairy dust, like should I simple it down, but in a way that's right. It's challenging. But no.
What's she got? What's that fairy tale thing? What is it?
I wrote, I'm so grateful that I do 100K a month. I love making 100K a month.
That's easy. That's so easy. That's not a fairy tale. What do you do?
I do sales consultant. I'm a sales consultant.
How much do you charge, or what's the commission?
So it really depends, but right now I'm sitting at 4.5K up front, and then a performance bonus.
So how much do you take home a month?
I'm doing around 4 to 6K.
4 to 6K. Okay. Get a goal card. I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning 100,000. Okay, and put a date on it, something like the 1st of March. We want to move with urgency on it, right? I promise you. Napoleon Hill in March. The 1st of March. Yeah,
it's like
scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, scary. If I can do it, you can do it.
That's true.
If I can do it, you can do it, right? I'm just operating with a different level of awareness. That's why. And when I say things, I'm going to be disrupting the old paradigm. Like when people speak to me, they get like uncomfortable because I'm bringing up like what they want, and then their paradigm, which is here. We're throwing all of these big ideas. Set the goal 100K by the 1st of March. Your paradigm, it sets up a foreign vibration in the body, and it's like, oh, that doesn't really feel safe, right? Let me tell you something. Andrew Carnegie gave Napoleon Hill an affirmation when he sat down with him and said, will you spend the next 25 years studying the most successful people? I'll give you no money, but I'll give you all my contacts. We're talking Henry Ford, Thomas Edison. These are like giants, right? And he gave Napoleon Hill an affirmation. He was 18, he was broke, and he was a journalist, Napoleon Hill. And he said, Andrew Carnegie, I won't only match your accomplishments in life. I'm going to meet you at the post and I'm going to beat you to the finish line. And Napoleon Hill looked at Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie was the first billionaire ever. Napoleon Hill was 18. He looked at him and he went, you know, fine, well, that's not going to happen. And Andrew Carnegie said, are you going to do what I tell you to do, or we're not working together? And Napoleon Hill lived with his brother at the time, right? And Andrew Carnegie told him he's got to go in, look in the mirror every morning and every night and say that affirmation. And the first few days when he got home, he used to shut the bathroom door so his brother couldn't hear him say it, because he's like embarrassed, right? And he'd look in the mirror and he'd go, Andrew Carnegie, da 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 da. But what did I say? Subconscious mind, if we tell it a lie over and over again, it starts to believe it. Okay, so 30 days in, when he's saying it, he's now starting to say it with a bit more belief. Oh my God, this could possibly happen. After a while, he was convinced of it. Once you're convinced of it, once your subconscious mind believes it, that's when the magic happens. That when you attract the people, the situations, you show up different, your tone of voice is different, everything's different. Now, Andrew Carnegie, I believe, and I'm paraphrasing it, so I could be wrong, I believe in his lifetime he made like 60 people millionaires. Napoleon Hill has made thousands of people millionaires through Think and Grow Rich. So he actually achieved that affirmation. How cool is that? I find it so cool that you can grab a pen and paper, write down what you want. Everything I write down, I get, man. It works like magic. Once you work in harmony with the laws of the universe, it works incredibly well. Long story short, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have earned £100,000 and put on it the first of I can send you I actually do gold cards as well. I've got quite a few of them, but I can send you the PDF if you wanted to get your own printed off. By the 1st of March, right? Now, I put on the back of my gold cards that I send to all my clients, and I love this affirmation. It says, this truth is clearly imaged in my conscious mind. It is effectively planted through constant spaced repetition in my subconscious emotional mind. Therefore, it is presently moving into physical form. I hope you guys are excited, you know, because every single one of your goals you're going to get. Let's think about this. Let's say it again with a stick person, right? That truth is clearly imaged in my conscious mind. It's effectively planted through constant spaced repetition in my subconscious emotional mind. Therefore, it is presently moving into physical form. Now, when it's going to happen, we don't know. There's a law of gestation. For every seed, there's an incubation period. At one time, when a woman got pregnant, we didn't know how long it took for a baby to manifest. A baby is a spiritual seed. Now we know it takes about 280 days for that spiritual seed to manifest into physical form. We know with a carrot in the UK, it takes about 60 days, right, for the carrot to manifest. But just because you can't see it, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. We've got to understand the laws of our being. We've got to understand that even though we can't see it, it's here. And if we stay in the right vibration, we'll attract it, man. I'm glad you're scared with that goal. That should scare you. When I look at my goal, it scares me. That's how it should be. Scares you. It scares you because subconsciously you've never been there, and consciously it's what you want, and you can do it. Napoleon Hill says in Think and Grow Rich, and I find this so true. He says when money comes in, the big money, it comes so fast and so quick that you wonder where it was all them lean years. And I always think that I can't help but attract money. And I think, where the fuck was it when I was broke, like on my doorstep with like spaghetti hoops and Heinz beans, man, on that council estate, you know? Like when it comes, once you're on the vibration of it, you know, it'll come, but you've got to really build a great relationship with money. And remember, affirmations work, but we can't just say them once. The subconscious mind is programmed through repetition. You know, something I always say to myself is money is attracted to me. Like, say it out loud, and that right now, money is attracted to me. Now, you might get that little voice in the back of your head, like, shut up, you're talking shit. No, I see you, I release you. Money is attracted to me. And then you'll just attract it, man. You know, I'm so grateful for this. I attracted this opportunity with Bruno out of nowhere, just from having in my self-image script that I am serving people on a bigger basis. Who's actually going Portugal? Yeah, that'd
You
be
mean
quite cool if we
the
can make
Portugal
something
retreat?
happen. Yeah.
The Portugal retreat, Miguel, Gonzalo, Marco is in Bali, Alex, I don't think he can come, Rodrigo is in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel, we still don't know. And the other boys, I think they can't as well. But we're already 7 at the moment, so we need 3
Amazing.
more guys to be
Love
10.
it.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah, bro, it's gonna be sick. Bro, I also wanted to talk a bit. Something that I've been struggling a lot is like I have something in my calendar,
Mm-hmm.
and like I know I need to do it, but because I have so much shit in my head at the same time, like
Yeah.
I end up not doing it or like kind of avoid it, and it's not good, you know. You know, I've been making, I'll say, great progress, but you know, I'm capable of so much fucking more than this.
100%.
Yeah, that's a big thing I'm struggling with, and also, for example, the retreats or thinking to myself, and like these guys know I'm always super transparent. Like me thinking in my head every single day, you know, I'm trying to give my best every single day for these guys to improve the community, everything like that. And I feel like we could be growing. You know, everybody outside congratulates me, Bruno. Like you started in August, you're doing so fucking well. Like nobody has done this. But I'm like, okay, we're 23, 24 guys, but I feel like we could be so much more ahead already. And there's these thoughts kind of killing me inside, bro. Like, but, yeah, I feel like I could be progressing more. And
Okay. Do you have a clearly defined goal for what you want for this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many members do you want by what date?
Yeah, I want to have 100 members by the end of March.
100 members by the end of March. You've already done 23 by August.
Yeah.
I think you should go higher, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you should go higher. Also, remember, right? The universe, if as long as you hold your goal before you, right, that should be your dominant thought, right? The ideas that we hold in our conscious mind are what eventually express themselves in circumstances, right? So our dominant thought shouldn't be, you know, I should be further ahead, this, that, the other. It should be, no, I know by this date, I will have in my possession 100 people in this community. I know it. Then when that thought tries coming in again, you should be further ahead. No, everything is exactly how it should be. And I know by the 1st of March, 2026, I will have 250 people in my community. In terms of being productive, that's one of our higher faculties, right? We've got 6 higher faculties. We've got perception, reason, memory, will, intuition, and imagination, right? These are what are the game changers. You know, you got to ask yourself, did you even know them? Never mind, did you know them? Do you study them? They what separate you from monkeys, right? One of them is the will, Bruno. Okay. Now, the will gives us the ability to hold one idea on the screen of our mind to the exclusion of everything else. We've got bare shit coming in our life. I got kids, I got a missus, I got a baby mother, I provide for my mom. Like, I got loads of stuff going on, right? Clients, you know, doing stuff like you. I got an inner circle dinner on the 13th of December where they're all flying from all over the world. All of this, but how do we eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time, right? And that's the will. So the will gives us the ability to hold one idea on the screen of the mind. I write down in the evening, I am so happy and grateful that I did the following today. And the reason I write it down in present tense is because when we're sleeping, the subconscious mind never sleeps. Actually, the only reason we sleep is to give the conscious mind a rest, right? So all through the night, my subconscious mind is going to work on the most productive way to get them done. Then I'll have 6 of them. I'll look at the first one and I will not stop doing it until it's done. So all that time, I've just got one idea, YouTube video. Boom, boom. There's nothing else going on. Not shit. I've got to look after the clients later. I've got to do this masterclass. No. You know, I was on a podcast for an hour and a half before this. I didn't think about this masterclass not once. Super focused on that. You know, if you can focus on one thing, you can focus on everything. But we do have the tendency sometimes to think, whoa, I got so much shit to do.
Yeah.
No, You've got this one thing to do right now. And then after that, you've got this one thing to do right now, right? Sometimes I might only get 4 of my 6 action steps done, and then I'll just move them on to the next day. Not even 6. If you was to do 3 goal achieving activities every single day for the next 90 days, and they're the right ones, you would see a massive leap in this community, you know? Like, we want to look at some like habits that we can install into this community. Are all of these guys, are you asking them all for testimonials? Are we giving them, you know, incentives for referrals? There's loads of ways. Are we servicing them to the best of our ability? How are we attracting new leads? Are you doing masterclasses yourself, kind of like I do, with a little call to action at the end if they did want to join a community of like minded? There's just loads of things that we can incorporate, but we can't do it all at once. So we got to do one, you know, like I said, work on 1 or 2 habits at a time. My mentor, Bob, he went into it's the largest insurance company in the world. Well, it was, I'm not sure if it is now, called Prudential, right? And he changed their income, their bottom line by hundreds of millions. All he done was help them change 2 habits. He had all of the salespeople be in front of a prospect before 9 a.m. Skin to skin with a prospect. And the second habit is they'd ask every single prospect to buy $100,000 worth of insurance. Believe me, whether it's at home or in your business, if you change your habits, you change your life. Make it a habit. You sell every day. You ask someone to buy your product every single day. Make that part of your paradigm. You know, at first it's going to be like, you know, driving when you're stalling and stuff like that. And then when you make it a habit to sell every day, you're just going to do it unconsciously. But that's how that's personally how Earl Nightingale told Bob. I just write 6 things that I want to do the night before, and I wake up and I start on the first one, and I don't move on until that other one's done. But people have the tendency to put the easiest things first. Put the hardest thing. Let's smack it in his face straight away. Let's challenge that thing that we think is difficult. Show it who's boss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Yeah.
I've got a great article for you, actually. It's called The Common Denominator of Success. It's actually in Thinking into Results on one of the articles on leadership. But yeah, the whole point of it, and this is what I was coaching Ibrahim on. I got introduced to Bruno through a client that went through Thinking into Results with me. Ibrahim, he's an online fitness coach, and when he came to me, he was making like 2Ks, really struggling, and he's seen my progression from an online fitness coach to Bob, and we got him to 10K months consistently, right? And he's been having an issue recently where he's like, you know, I just don't want to take sales calls. I want it to come like really easy, which is like fine. But then he's like, yeah, I don't want to like do master classes because I'm throwing like suggestions his way. And I told him, you got to read The Common Denominator of Success every single day. He says, successful people do things that failures don't like to do. The secret is successful people don't like to do them as well. That's why they make them habits. You know, I'm in phenomenal shape. I train every day. It's just part of my paradigm, right? And I'll see people in the gym, Jesus Christ, how do you stay motivated to go gym every day? I say, what? 5 days out of 7, I can't be asked. But I care about the result more than the method. You know, when I joined a YouTube mentorship with a guy called Ed Lawrence, he's got me. I just used to get on YouTube and write. Now he's got me writing intros, sales psychology, storytelling, cliffhangers. Like, it takes me like 1 hour to write a YouTube script, but I'm willing to do it because I care about the result and not the method. So sometimes, guys, you are going to have to do things that you don't like to do, and this is what's going to get you through it. Your goal, for sure. Rodrigo, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing really good, bro. I just wanted to say thank you for showing up today and dropping this absolute sauce on us. I personally know I really needed it.
Yeah.
Like, I came from a very similar background as you, bro. You know, I moved to the UK actually when I was super young, speaking no English, so I had to learn a second language and try to integrate into this whole society. I ended up living on the roughest council estate in my city by the age of 16 through my own mistakes.
Wow.
You know, made the wrong decisions for a long time. And then I actually found, I opened my first business. I found Bob Proctor. I found Think and Grow Rich. My first book that I read was Rich Dad Poor Dad as well, and I
Ah,
started to change my life around, bro. And
good for you, man.
things started to pick up for me, bro. And then because then I made some mistakes again, bro. I fell off. I stopped
Yeah.
reading the books. I stopped implementing things. Things went
Hmm.
all the way backwards for me again. Ended up working in construction, literally digging up holes every day to just to get by, bro. And
Yeah.
recently, then made the leap to join this group and decided that I wanted to start my entrepreneurial journey again
Good.
and get back to the right track. And that's how I met Bruno. I made the choice to join the group, and he helped me find my
Mhm.
first online job, bro. I actually received my
Beautiful.
first paycheck yesterday from
Yes.
online work, bro. So that was a big milestone, bro. I was really happy with that, and
Good for you, man.
it wasn't a lot,
Get
but
it.
bro, to finally get there and finally actually make some money from entrepreneurship again, it's been great. And I just wanted to ask you, when you're setting goals, like I heard you speaking to the guy saying, set goals that scare you, and I definitely have some of those in mind. But would you
Yeah.
say it's more useful to set one at a time, achieve it, and then start a new one, or do you
Yeah.
do multiple affirmations and
No,
come around
that's a
that way?
great question. We with our C-type goal, we want one personal and one professional. To be honest, I just have my financial goal on my goal card. It's clear and defined because once I reach this goal, we call it the Mount Everest goal, right? Like when Ed Hillary went to the top of Mount Everest, yeah, on the way he probably had to think about base camp A, base camp B, but all the time, where would his mind have been? On the top,
At the top, yeah.
at the top, right? So we want a goal that is that big that when we achieve it, all of these other things. So you don't necessarily have to think about something to manifest it. I've just bought an Audi S4 and it's incredible, right? And I got myself a new Cartier watch as well, but I didn't write down that I want those things. I just focus on my financial goal and all the things that I want just get hit by going after that big goal. So say for example, if I get on a plane and I'm going to Dubai, I don't have to think about going over London, going over Amsterdam, going over Paris, going over Sudan, right? The pilot just thinks about Dubai, like the main destination. And you're gonna notice on the way to that big financial goal, like a big one, 10x, 20x. We're not playing around with two. That's shit. Yeah, you're not gonna get fired up. You want to wake up excited, like, wow, this is like the dream, right? And then once on your way to it, you're gonna hit all of these mini goals on the way anyway.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice, bro. Appreciate it.
What's the most you've ever earned in a year, Rodrigo?
Probably around like 30K.
30K. The only reason I ask you all what you earn, by the way, because it just shows me where you programmed. That's what Bob taught me. You'll always tell where the frequency is, right? So set a goal for 30K a month. Yeah. You don't need to know how, right?
Mhm.
The only thing that can cause you to worry on the way to your goal is trying to do it all alone. Leave the how to a power that's bigger than you. Your goal is to know what and where. That is it. Why are we thinking about the middle of the jump? We should be visualizing the arrival. When we visualize the arrival, we attract the methods, the strategies needed to get us physically where we are spiritually. So all we need to know is what. We have this power that flows into our consciousness. It's not good, it's not bad, but our thinking makes it so. 97% of people don't have a goal. When we have a goal, that power allows us to think. We can think about our goal, and it's the image that we hold on the screen of our mind most often that expresses itself in our circumstances. Get yourself a goal card, my man.
I will,
Yeah,
bro.
you give me
I
a
will.
message. Give me a message. I'll send you all a goal card out for sure.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
I
you're
definitely
welcome.
will. I definitely will. Yeah, bro. It's been a challenging day. Like the reason why I had to have my camera off is so I'm in a sales role. I'm appointment setting for a luxury real estate
Yeah,
company in Portugal, and so the sales quota is 5 for a month, and I was really happy because just this like the start of this month alone, I've done 27. So I was
amazing.
really gassed. And just last night, I was talking to my dad about limiting beliefs and overcoming challenges. And I woke up this morning, and the manager from at the sales team at the agency, he
Yeah.
accidentally cancelled all of the appointments. So I had to call all 27 people and
Yeah.
explain that there was a mistake and that obviously everything is still going ahead. And bro,
Yeah.
just as the school was starting, my manager, he was like, "We need to have an emergency meeting. You need to talk to this person, do this, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What crazy timing!" I was like, "I can't believe it!" Like just as I was about to literally jump on this at the same time, he's like,
Yeah.
"We have to talk." And yeah, I just, like you said, I remembered because it was starting to overwhelm me a little bit, and I remembered from reading the book, it was what you said. It was you just gotta do one thing at a time. When you're starting to feel overwhelmed, you just gotta focus on one thing, do one thing at a time. So
Yeah.
I wrote down all the names and I just went one by one. I checked it, what one received the email, and I realized,
Yeah.
okay, about half of those people didn't actually receive the cancellation email. That was
Boom.
half of them done. Fantastic. Just had
Good.
half of them to go. Keep going. Call whoever doesn't pick up, WhatsApp message. Once I was finished the meeting, bam, jump on here. And yeah, bro, everything you're saying is absolutely spot on. I heard Miguel saying as well, like he manifested finding this group and these resources, and it absolutely is true, bro. What you hold in your mind becomes your reality if you're
100%.
strong enough. 100%, bro. So yeah.
Listen,
Thank you for your time, bro.
you're welcome, my man. A pleasure, grateful to be here. Listen, when things happen, this is the attitude, you know. Good people or average people, they have a great attitude when things are going well, right? When you had a few sales that month, and you know the missus is treating you good, giving you massages, you know, you got enough leads. Yeah, like we have a good attitude, but you know, successful people, the great people, they have an even better attitude when things aren't going well. Remember what attitude is? It's our thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. You know, when things happen like that, you want to, was it Brian Tracy? I think it was Brian Tracy. You say, that's good. That's good. What? Client asked for a refund. Oh my God, that's good. What? Person didn't join a sales call. That's good. That's good. You know, and law of opposites. If you're seeing a bad in the situation, the law of opposites tells you it's good. It's all about shifting our perception, right? So that's good. You know, you had to do it again. That's good. What's good about it? I got to speak to them again. There's another touch point for when they do get on the call. You know, it's just the stories that we tell ourselves. So always have the attitude of that's good. No matter what it is, that's good. Client fell through, you know, lost a bit of money. Oh, that's good. Why is it good? Because I'm not rich that I just keep circulating money. Also, guys, circulate your money too. That's a law of the universe, right? What happens to your blood if it stops circulating? You're gonna die. Most people get a nice little 5K sale, you know, I'm gonna hold on to that, and then they stop the circulation. You know, money is made to spend. Prosperity is a mindset that you hold. So circulate your money. Is circulate. You know, have a look at, you know, giving back to some great foundations or something. You know, and what you guys have got going on here is amazing. Make sure you know, you use each other. We really are a product of our environment. You know, if the 5 closest people to you smoke weed and are bums, then you're going to be the 6th bum. You know, get around people. I'm sure you've got nice hotels and stuff near your house, nice opulent ones. You don't have to go and spend lots of money to go in there. Go and buy a coffee, you know, put on a nice, you don't have to dress like me. This is just my self-image, but put on something where you feel nice, some nice aftershave, and just go and sit next to someone and just have a conversation. You know, like energy attracts like energy, and all successful people, the majority they'll love to help you. They'll love to have conversations with you. You know, get around people that are where you want to be. If you're making 20K, right, let me make a goal this week to have a conversation with someone that's making 50K. You know, use each other, accountability. Yeah.
Bro, I fucking love this shit, bro. Fucking love it.
Good. Joel is the man.
Love it.
Fucking
Bro,
love this music to us.
Like,
Amazing.
you really touch like my fucking mind and my heart, bro. Like, it's all about the habits and the belief systems, bro. Like, it's fucking crazy. You made me realize that I've been a fucking pussy, bro. Like, honestly, not in a bad way. Like,
Yeah.
you need to wake up and reach my fucking 100% potential. Like,
Mhm.
you know, bro, fucking loved it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I have no
Can I
words.
ask one more question, bro? Is that
Of
is that
course.
right, Bruno?
Yeah. And look, we all
Um,
we all have blind spots, right? That's why I have a mental. You know, look, the most successful people have the most mentors. Let's think about Ronaldo. You know, he's probably got a heading coach, a relationship coach, a stretching coach, a mindset coach, a business coach, right? That's the cheat code, you know. Get mentors, man. Someone that you really trust, for sure. Yes,
Absolutely.
Rodrigo?
So I wanna help my dad to overcome his limiting beliefs because he's got a
Yeah.
lot of potential and he's tried and he's just been, you know, you could call it unlucky, but because of what I've read and the people that have mentored me, I
It's not.
know that it's his limiting beliefs that's held him back.
Yeah.
But how can I help him to reset that? Because he wants to, but he's 55, so it's hard. Like he's lived with those thoughts, that way of thinking for so
Yeah.
long. It's hard to overcome that. What do you say is
Great
the
question.
best way to help
Great
him?
question. Well, the best thing that you can do for one is to do it yourself. You know, the best way to help you know, the best way to help someone that's not earning money is to earn money yourself. You know, the best way to help him is to become, you know, a living, breathing example of it, for sure. And remember, like you don't really know something until you can explain it to someone else. So study, man. You know, find a good program, find a good course, and dedicate to it. Really study you, who you are, because you're powerful. But what I used to do when I first got into this material, I try and ram it down people's throat. It says it been studying lesson 3. It's got an amazing quote in it about responsibility. People, oh yeah, I'm not sure where it is. I'm sure it's, yeah, Michael Batch. People do not resist change when it's their choice. People resist being changed. Yeah, so we don't want to try and change him. We just want to, you know, be an example. And then once he sees you doing better, once he sees you being living proof of it, you know. But also, I've been reading this article at the end of lesson 3 on responsibility, and you know, you're not responsible for your dad, man. It's all about responsibility. There's a vast difference between being responsible for and being responsible to. Now, it seems so
Sure.
simple, but don't let its apparent simplicity fool you. There's a big difference between being responsible for and being responsible to. It's not uncommon to hear parents blame themselves and assume responsibility for something that has happened to their child that might be 40 years old. If only we, or if I should have, far too often we inappropriately assume responsibility for something when in fact our real duty to the person may have ended 20 years ago. You're responsible for your feelings and your results, not another person's, man. You know, my dad, I don't really speak to my dad too much. You know, I love him so much. But he's not the type of person I want to be around. You know, I don't hang around people that are not goal orientated, man. I want to sit there and be pessimistic because I don't want to catch what they've got, you know? So, yeah, you can drop hints, you can give suggestions, but you're not responsible to him, man. It's his life, you know, and there's a great affirmation here. I'm responsible for my feelings, for my personal growth, and for the results that I get, not another person. I'm not responsible because my dad is still living on benefits. I'm not responsible for that. You know, I'm responsible for my feelings, my personal growth, and every result that I get. So you got this. First of all, just focus on yourself.
Yeah, makes sense, bro. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Bro,
It's good stuff, bro.
fucking insane. 1 hour and 40 minutes of value, bro.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna be watching this one back, bro. For many times, for
Yeah.
sure. Gonna be watching this one back. 100%.
No, me too, bro.
I'll reach out as well.
Yeah,
Bruno, if you
Joe,
drop Joel's
yeah,
number in the group chat, bro. I'm sure
yeah,
many of us
it's
will reach
only.
out to him.
Yeah, I sent your IG, Joel. Do you want me to
Yes.
send your number or?
Yeah,
or
send
the
send the guys my number. It's best to contact me on WhatsApp. And also send them my YouTube as well. My YouTube will really help them.
Can you send me your YouTube, brother?
Yeah, would you want it on WhatsApp?
Yeah, can you send me like the link for your YouTube?
Yeah, for sure. On this Google Meets or on WhatsApp?
WhatsApp.
Oh yeah, cool.
I'm gonna have to go as well, guys. But thank you again, and thank you, Bruno, for setting this up, bro.
Of course,
We're
brother.
gonna smash it, bro. 2026 is gonna be a big year. It's gonna be a big year.
It
bro.
is, bro. It is, bro.
Be big,
Let's
bro.
fucking make it happen, bro.
Absolutely.
Let's get it.
100%.
Let's crush
Alright.
it.
Take care, guys. Have a good one.
Brother,
Bye bye. Bye bye.
bro. Okay, I got it. Let me send it to the group chat. Yeah, bro, Joe, all the boys are already saying fucking next level, bro. They're going crazy.
Good, good. That's what I like to hear, man.
Yeah, bro. We need to make it happen in Portugal, bro. We need to make it happen. Fuck. Let's
Yeah,
run
send
it,
me-
bro. Yeah,
Go
I
on.
need to send you. So it's from the 5th to the 8th. I was thinking maybe if you could come like on the 6th or the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, let me stop recording.